Greetings, salutations, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center for semifinal number 4 of the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Championships. It's the Carson-Newman Eagles against the Anderson Trojans, second-seeded Carson-Newman against third-seeded Anderson. Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside Chuck Benson. At a glorious combined weight of 1 metric ton. We are thrilled to have you on hand for the final game of the day. One half of the women's championship field is set as the Coker Cobras showcase some defensive prowess in knocking off the Wingate Bulldogs. Eagles and Trojans looking to join them in the championship field. Chuck Benson, always fun in March. These two teams, I would argue, have proven themselves worthy of the NCAA tournament field. It's house money at this point for the Lady Eagles and Trojans, just looking for a championship at this point.
Oh, yeah, you got two experienced clubs. I think they split in the regular season. At this point in the year, seeding doesn't matter. Everybody's fighting for their life, and I know today's matchup with the ladies will be a good one.
These two teams have two of the better guards in the South Atlantic Conference, and it starts with the Trojans and Zamiah Passmore. She was on another plane of existence in the quarterfinal round when she turned in a 33-point, 12-rebound, 7-assist double-double as the Trojans staved off a Mars Hill upset bid in the quarterfinal round. And on the other hand, for Carson-Newman, the Lady Eagles turned their attentions to Jen Sullivan. 18 points in Carson-Newman's quarterfinal victory over the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters. You get a look at the numbers. Both of them averaging north of 14 points a game. They're both first-team All-SAC performers. Sullivan a little more accomplished from beyond the arc, but Passmore as good as it gets at getting the ball to the basket and scoring in and around the hull. Here's how we have gotten to this juncture through the South Atlantic Conference Women's Basketball Championships. Carson-Newman taking down Lincoln Memorial, Anderson taking down Mars Hill in the quarterfinal round, and one half of tomorrow's championship game is set. Coker victorious just moments ago with a 58-43 defensive slobber knocker of a win over the Wingate Bulldogs. So both these teams looking for a South Atlantic Conference tournament title. Carson-Newman went to the championship game last year and lost to the Wingate Bulldogs. Anderson, runner-up in 3 of the last 5 years, looking for their first tournament title since 2019. Chuck Benson, again, both these teams likely in the field for the NCAA tournament, but that trophy means something.
Well, both these teams represented themselves very well in the regular season, obviously. But a tournament title, a chance to compete for a tournament title, is sort of the cherry on top of the pie. So you know you can get the best punch. You mentioned the guard play on both teams. Elite, seasoned, capable. It's going to be really interesting to see who else emerges. I think this could go down to what happens near the basket, and both teams have good representatives there.
Anderson, one of the best rebounding teams in the country, 44.9 boards a game, leads the SAC, and their +5 rebounding margin, second in the conference. And, of course, that's been a hallmark of Jonathan Barbary's clubs for a long, long time. For Mike Mincy, it's the press, the high-octane attack. Lady Eagles have been firing away from long distance, leading the SAC with 8.4 threes per game, which is 18th nationally.
Styles make fights, and this is certainly going to be a contrast in styles.
Starting lineups have been introduced for Anderson. The Trojans trot out Zania Preston, Zamiah Passmore, the first-team All-SAC performer, Ashlyn Sheridan out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and Farragut High School, Kyla Kane, as well as All-SAC first-teamer Diamond McDowell, who averages a double-double a game. No surprise who Carson-Newman women's basketball's starters are. Michaela Alvey, Tori Rutherford, Campbell Penland, Jen Sullivan, and Lindsay Taylor. The nod for the Eagles, Sullivan and Taylor, both first-team All-SAC selections. Plenty of talent out on the floor between these two clubs. And we are set for basketball in our final SAC semifinal. McDowell wins the tip. The Trojans control. Passmore sets up shot for the Trojans in black. Passmore launches from range and she swishes it. Just her 12th three of the season for the 24% shooter. She dials long distance, connects, and the Trojans are up 3-0 and a turnover. Passmore off to the races. She lays it in. 5-0 burst for the Trojans to open up the game. Zamiah Passmore had 33 in the quarterfinals. She scored the first 5, and we haven't even played a minute. Sullivan pinned inside, twisting around, jump ball. Kyla Kane forces the jump. Arrow favors the Lady Eagles. Sullivan dribbles into the double team and gets tied up by Kyla Kane. Sullivan. 5-dish, Taylor. Left-hand leaner won't fall. McDowell gobbles up the miss. And the Trojans bring it left to right. McDowell wants a 3. Back iron, no. Alvey snares the rebound. Penland leads the break for the Eagles. Trojans back on D. Penland. Triple. Swish. Campbell Penland provides Carson-Newman with its first points. Lady Eagles down 2. Passmore. Out to Sheridan at the top of the key. Inside McDowell, banging inside on Penland. Penland swats her shot.
Good rotation by the Lady Eagles.
Rutherford. Bounce feed inside Taylor. Reverse layup. Strong off the window. Passmore the rebound and running for the Trojans. Bounces ahead. The left-hand layup is pure for Kyla Kane.
They're very aggressive in transition so far.
Sullivan wants an answer. Corner 3, strong. Alvey an offensive rebound. Misfired her putback. Third time the charm for Alvey. She had 20 in the meeting when these teams got together in Holt Fieldhouse. A 3-point Eagle win. And she pulls the Trojans within, she pulls the Eagles within 2. Left corner, Kane a triple. Back iron, no. McDowell with the length to out-rebound Penland. Stickback's good high off the glass.
She's impressive. Got great length around the basket.
She averages a double-double for a reason. She's got the Trojans up 4. Turnover. Penland stripped by Sheridan. Preston bounces ahead to McDowell. Takes it into Rutherford, who draws a foul.
Anderson is using that aggressive trapping in the half court, turning the Lady Eagles over a little bit, converting opportunities in transition. That's early, at least that's a good combination.
Carson-Newman turned it over a combined 40 times in the meetings in the regular season. 23 in the meeting in the Abney Center, 17 in the meeting in Holt. As McDowell puts Anderson up 5, matching the Trojans' largest lead. Second one rolls off. Sullivan the rebound. And the Eagles in all white move it from right to left. Sullivan attacks the basket, finishes through contact on Preston.
She's got great body control going towards the basket.
Eagles within 3. Trojans have had good firepower early, especially in transition. There's a deflection for Rutherford. She knocks it out of bounds. Last touched by Rutherford.
Good effort. Lady Eagles got to make sure they're trying to match the aggressiveness of Lady Trojans' half-court defense for sure.
It's a rematch of last season's regional semifinal that Carson-Newman won. Eagles also knocked the Trojans out of last year's SAC tournament in the quarterfinal round. Rutherford gives off Penland. Wheels out to the wing. Taylor back to the basket on Kane. Penland on the drive, gets into Kane, has her shot erased. Ball bounces out of bounds. It's off of Kane.
Entering for Anderson, number 15, Rose Gravel.
Lady Eagles touch and paint. That's usually a good recipe to generate good offense. They just keep on doing that.
Trojans. Freshman of the year, Gravel gets back tapped by Alvey, who dives on the floor. Gravel and Alvey tied up. Arrow favors the Trojans.
Lady Eagles are starting to match some of the aggressive sort of practices Lady Trojans are utilizing. I think that's smart.
There has been some good intensity to this game in the early going. You'd expect nothing less of a matchup between Carson-Newman and Anderson. Passmore can't connect from deep. Taylor swipes in her first board. Sullivan lobs to Taylor. It's deflected. Passmore takes it away. Eagles' third turnover. Left wing triple. Sheridan connects in transition.
They're really doing a good job capitalizing on the Lady Eagles turnovers. Got to take better control of the ball for the Lady Eagles.
Anderson, a team that averages 5 made threes per game. They're 2 for 4 to start from distance. The Trojans up by 6, their biggest lead. ILO action. Taylor catches and lays it in past Gravel.
That's a way to stop the bleeding. Go over the top, occupy the weak side, help. Give Lindsay a chance to get 2.
That high-low play has been there a boatload for Carson-Newman over the final weeks of the regular season. Sheridan lobs it over to McDowell. McDowell, free throw line jumper, got tapped on the elbow by Penland, and she'll shoot 2 free throws. Penland with her first personal, the second on the Eagles. Anderson has jumped out to a 13-9 lead on Carson-Newman. The Trojans looking to make it an all-South Carolina final for the SAC championship. McDowell at the stripe. When we return, this is the SAC Women's Basketball Championship semifinals on Flow College.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Intense start to this South Atlantic Conference semifinals. Zamaya Passmore scored the first 5 points of the game for the Trojans. Sheridan enjoyed the scoring party with a triple. And then the Lady Eagles got on the board. Campbell Penland with a 3 as Diamond McDowell misses the first free throw. Trojans up by 4. Second free throw. McDowell sinks it. 5-point game. Trojans have led wire to wire. And by as many as 6.
Let's see what the Lady Eagles got coming out of this timeout. Clearly they've got something scripted.
Alvey inside out to Penland. Around a Taylor screen for Alvey. Alvey drives, gets around Gravel and draws a foul. Michaela Alvey was a linchpin to Carson-Newman's success in the meeting in Holt Fieldhouse when she scored 20. She gets to the line here after the foul on the freshman of the year, Rose Gravel. Her first on Anderson.
Lady Eagles are trying to attack paint. As I said earlier, that's a good start for offense. They've got to continue to do that, and hopefully they get the short shot, the free throw, or the kick-out 3, especially to Penland.
Also not a bad strategy. Diamond McDowell, such a force inside. Potentially you can get her in foul trouble. The same could be said the reverse
Both
way.
ways, yeah.
Take the ball inside,
Yep.
get Lindsay Taylor in foul trouble. Preston spinning on Emily Gonzalez.
She's also good on-ball defender along with Tori. We got our best. There we go.
Passmore into the paint. Mid-range shot rattles out. Rebound nicks off of a couple bodies, and it's last touched out of bounds by Passmore.
Got to block out first. Can't just make it a jumping battle. Got to put a body on somebody and then go collect the ball.
Intensity level still high in the first quarter, with Anderson up by 5. Taylor pivoting around, goes outside to Rutherford. Rutherford twirls in, just ropes one up, trying to draw a foul. It's out of
She
bounds.
lost her balance. She was fighting for it, just lost her footing.
Stumbled around Gravel's hip. But no intentional effort made by Gravel to gain an advantage. Rutherford a steal. Finds Penland. Back to Rutherford. She tries a triple. Short. Alvey, second chance. Penland, same spot. This one's
dagger
good.
Good offensive rebound by Alvey to a kick-out 3, stationary Penland.
Carson-Newman has started 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Lady Eagles within 2. McDowell. Down inside.
That's
Rutherford ties her up.
Tori's such a good off-ball defender. She sits in gaps. She stunts on drives. When she commits to the ball, she commits thoroughly. She's a great example of really a team defender.
Turnover number 1 for Anderson. Carson-Newman an opportunity to tie with a 2 on this trip. Sullivan dispossessed. Passmore's off and running. Passmore to the hoop, lays it in.
Good defense by the Lady Trojans. Jen Sullivan's good with the ball, man. Strip her's an accomplishment.
It's the 5th turnover for Carson-Newman. Knuckles. Pass off target and out of bounds.
The Lady Trojans really extend out. Pressure the ball, challenge passes, wrap the post, make ball movement very, very hard. I'm sure Coach Mincy will come out of this timeout with a little bit more action away from the ball to help get the receivers a better opportunity to catch.
Mike Mincy calls for time as Anderson leads at 16-12 over the Carson-Newman Eagles. One half of the championship field set for Friday's championship final. It is the Coker Cobras playing for their first ever SAC tournament title in a season where they won their first regular season title, men's title game at 4 p.m. between Lincoln Memorial and Lenore-Rhine, the 2 top seeds in the men's tournament.
That Lady Coker team is legit now. One of these teams tonight's going to advance and play them, but I'm telling you, they're a very, very complete team.
As good of a defensive club in women's Division II college basketball as you'll find for Melissa DeVore, who rightly earned SAC Coach of the Year honors. Trojans up 4. McDowell has it tipped out of bounds. Sheridan lobs to Gravel. She catches. Layup strong. Ladd pulls in the rebound.
That was a really nice corner out play. Tough to make that work, but they went for it.
Dropped a dime of a pass, too. Gonzalez twisting into the paint. Pressure there from Preston. Ladd up top, zips inside. Gonzalez.
Good cut, good opportunity, good pass by Ladd. Just got to finalize it.
There's an issue for the Eagles in the Abney Center. They struggle to make layups in that loss. Deflection, but Anderson keeps the possession alive. Passmore, free throw line, jumper swishes it in.
They've got really good team speed and quickness. I like them in transition. They get down, generate rotation early in the clock, find good looks.
Back to a 6-point Anderson lead. 70 seconds left in the opening quarter. Knuckles from range. Thuds off the heel. Sheridan long rebound. Passmore draws it. McDowell draws a double team. Shoots over Knuckles and swishes it from the mid-range.
Tough shot, man. Tough shot. That was a fall away 12-footer over defender. Tough.
6 points for Diamond McDowell. Trojans up 8. Biggest lead of the day for Anderson. Passmore a steal and a whistle and a foul on Jen Sullivan.
Someone's going to come off that ball screen looking to score. First, pass second. She's coming off and being hesitant. The roll's going to be there if she will make that secondary defender step up and guard her.
Taylor exits. Johnson enters for Carson-Newman. Preston exits. Peyton Oliver enters for Anderson. Trojans weathered a 2-minute scoring drought and have taken an 8-point lead, their biggest of the game.
Good help on the drive.
McDowell for gravel. Kick out, Oliver. A three. She swishes it. Peyton Oliver exercising the demons of an 0 for 6 effort from beyond the arc in the quarterfinals. She buries that one, and the Trojans are up double digits. And that is how the first quarter comes to a close. First 10 minutes belongs to Anderson. The Trojans get a corner three from Peyton Oliver.
They really shot the ball well the first half. I've liked the Lady Trojans' idea of sort of the same thing we said with the Lady Eagles. Touch paint, see if defense collapses. If it collapses, kick it back out, shoot, catch shots. That's a recipe at all levels of basketball.
Passmore's been a good catalyst for Anderson, getting up and down the floor, making mid-range jumpers. Trojans up 11 after 1. We're back for the second quarter after this on Flow College.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Anderson closes the first quarter on a 9-0 run, and the Trojans are up 11 with the basketball to start the second quarter. McDowell kicks out of a double team, extra pass Sheridan. Oliver looking for a second straight triple. She's off the mark, but McDowell gobbles up the miss, her fourth board. Hit the deck, jump ball. Rutherford hustling as always.
Lady Eagles did a good job there, trapping the post, rotating out of the trap. Got to make sure that we get the defensive rebound. Ended up getting the 50-50 loose ball, though.
Point lead for Anderson. Carson-Newman hasn't scored in 3 minutes. Penland trying to snap it. She leaves the three short, but Alvey's there for an offensive board. Back to Penland. Show and go into the paint. Draws a triple team. Finds Ladd in the corner. Skip for Alvey. Alvey measures a long two. Airballed it. And Ladd touched it last out of bounds.
Get some good looks. It's not capitalizing yet. Still very early.
Anderson shooting 56% from the field compared to 39% for Carson-Newman. McDowell Measures a three. Strong off the heel.
That was a good look at it. We came up with a loose ball.
Rutherford, elbow jumper, short. Passmore, trapped in the corner. Sheridan shaken up.
I'm not sure what happened there, Kev. Looked like she and Tori were going for a basketball, and maybe they hit hands. It didn't look like there was much contact.
I didn't see the initial moment. I saw Sheridan stop as she started to make her way up the floor in obvious pain. She grips her
right hand.
Her hand.
Entering for Anderson, number 3, Zainab Preston. Entering for Carson-Newman.
Our replay operator, Jay West, has been on it all tournament long, but this is a moment that even he hasn't been able to find the exact moment where Sheridan got nicked. Still Trojan basketball. Carson-Newman hasn't scored since Campbell Penland hit a three at the 3:08 mark of the first quarter. Trojans in the middle of a 9-0 run. Passmore scrapes around the screen, hits backboard, nothing else off the three.
That was a pretty good look for them, but maybe they're cooling off for a little bit.
Alvey, tough take, she draws a foul.
Carson's got to keep on being aggressive like that. They really want to end this by maybe the media timeout of this second period. They like to get this to single digits if they can, and the best way to do that is to get the free throw line when they attack paint.
Alvey's first one's in. Carson-Newman has its first points of the quarter. And the Lady Eagles' first points in nearly 5 minutes of game action. 2-for-2 trip. 9-point game. Trojans 0 for 3 for the period. Preston gives to Oliver. Flips it out to McNow. Into the high post for Gravel. Gravel out to Passmore. Deep in the shot clock. She spins inside. Rutherford erases it.
Good stop by Lady Eagles.
Alvey for Ladd. 15-footer. Halfway down and out. McDowell boxes out Taylor for her 5th board. Open in the corner. Preston's three is good in transition.
They're so good in transition. They're so good. They run the floor. They spot up.
Speaking of running the floor, Michaela Alvey. Can't let you even get a thought out, Chuck.
Yeah, that was both ways. Hats off to both guards of really initiating that.
13 fast break points for the Trojans. Those were Carson-Newman's first fast break points. High-low lob for Gravel. She catches.
Wow.
She hangs. She hits. And a foul.
Great high-low pass by Diamond. Great steal by the low post. Lady Eagles had that fronted. Had good help from behind. It was perfectly passed. Caught with 2. And a difficult finish to get the and 1.
First foul on Taylor. First foul on the Lady Eagles. Gravel to the line where she's 56 of 99, and her 100th free throw of the season is good for her 57th make. Up to a 13-point lead for Anderson off of this 6-0 run.
We tried to turn around and give you the same kind of hollow feed to them. But they're really physical on the ball. They make the passes tough.
Penland. Long 2. Caroms into Passmore's hands. Her 3rd board. Sends it ahead McDowell. Twists away from Penland and lays it in. Passmore threads the needle. McDowell finishes, and the Trojans are up 15.
Passmore's the real deal. She knows how to set her teammates up for success.
First teamer to first teamer there. Alvey tries to answer from 3, and she does.
Good inside out by Lindsay Taylor to Alvey. Lady Eagles needed that.
Down 12. Carson-Newman, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc.
Carson-Newman's got a good support group here tonight. Being really loud, trying to get the ladies going.
Men's basketball team making some noise. Passmore fouled in the act of shooting.
I'm really impressed with Passmore. She can pass it, she can shoot it. She gets to the rim. She's nice. Lady Eagles got to just shore up the ball screen coverage. Make it a little more difficult for Passmore to go north-south towards the basket.
Penland second. Second on the Eagles of the period. Passmore's free throw is true. Point lead for Anderson. Second one, up and in. Samaya Passmore into double figures for Anderson, trying to put a coat on her 33-point game for the quarterfinals.
Passmore and Diamond are a good 1-2 punch, man.
Anderson, the only team in the conference with 2 first-teamers. Alvey clear sailing to the bucket for 2.
I went from the left wing around the horn to the right block. That was the first real just obvious breakdown to Lady Trojans, keeping the ball in the paint.
12-point game. Trojans shooting 50%, nearly give it away, but it's to Preston. Preston moves inside on Sullivan, slips gravel, cutting to the cup. She finishes off glass and a foul.
Great offensive attack by Lady Trojans. Drive from the right, cut from the left, 45. Taylor had committed to stopping or helping stop the ball. Another Amlin opportunity.
That wasn't gravel, that was Kyla Kane. Regardless.
That was next level execution right there.
Firm take.
Principle-based basketball play.
In and out, no good on the and one free throw. 14-point lead for Anderson. Rutherford. Grasped by Oliver, gets it to Ladd. Trojans stay man-to-man. Ladd. The baseline. Slips Alvey. Long 2 on the way. Off the front of the 10, no good.
Lady Trojans are defending well.
Pass ahead for McDowell's into the stands.
And they are so aggressive in transition. They love to try to get the ball over the top early.
Brings us to a break in the action. Anderson off and running. The Trojans have scored 15 points on the fast break and are outrunning Carson-Newman at present standing. Trojans up 35-21, and we're back to Rock Hill after these messages on Flow College.
What is a lab of difference making? It's a place. A safe place. A safe place to explore and experiment. It's a place to focus and question your perceived notions. To step out of your comfort zone and be bold, brave, and different. Or to shake things up and try something new. It's Wingate.
Anderson out to a 14-point lead on Carson-Newman. The Trojans shooting 52% from the field while limiting the Eagles to 38% shooting. Carson-Newman looking for some offensive fluidity against a Trojan team that's made 4 straight shots. Ladd off the mark from distance. McDowell grabs the rebound.
Lady Trojans do a really, really good job of protecting paint, man. They switch ball screen, they stunt, give help in the gaps, force you to shoot over, not around. That's good sound principle.
Passmore. Found a screen to the hoop. Rutherford blocked it. Couldn't save it in, though.
She was out. She was out. Fans are getting upset, but she was definitely out of bounds. I know one thing. I would hate to be an official here and deal with this, some of these fans, man. They get excited.
It's fun enough for you to deal with it as a coach sometimes, I'm sure.
Much easier, actually.
Passmore lobs to McDowell. McDowell walks.
Not sure. Could have been inspired by the faithful, the Eagle faithful.
Good contingent of orange and blue faithful making their way to Rock Hill, braving the newly opened Interstate 40. Rutherford a pass inside, deflected away by Kane. Kane to the cup, through contact.
Oh, wow.
No charge.
Wow. I know one thing. Lady Trojans earned that opportunity, again, by being aggressive defensively, picking off a pass. Lady Eagles got to be a little bit more accurate. But the play here at the end, got to give Rutherford credit getting in position.
9 turnovers for Carson-Newman Anderson, an 11-3 edge and points off turnovers. Sullivan stripped. 10th giveaway for the Eagles. Preston, the runner, bounces and drops in.
It's the best time to score the ball. Get a takeaway, steal, turn somebody over, and go down and get numbers.
Biggest lead of the day for Anderson at 16. Alvey, moving screen on Sullivan.
Yep. She was a little rattled from the last possession, the turnover, the steal. She's got 2. She's probably going to have to sit the second. If you're the Lady Eagles, you got to figure out how to open up driving lanes or get Taylor the ball on the block. She's not touched it probably enough. I'm sure Coach Mincy would like her to get the ball more. They're trying to drive, but the Lady Trojans do a good job sitting in gaps, making it hard to drive.
Taylor's 1 of 3 and has 2 points for Carson-Newman. It's been the Passmore show for the Trojans. She's got 11. Ball's in her hands on the wing. Gets it to her fellow all-conference first-teamer McDowell in the post. Spins on Penland, but airballs the fade.
I like the idea of trapping the Lady Eagles on the low block. That's a good idea. They just got to be able to come here and get some answer points. Points are hard to come by, obviously, so far.
Trojans 4th in the league in scoring defense, 64.8 points allowed per game. Third best field goal defense in the conference.
They're ahead of pace right now for sure.
Trojans up by 16. Preston can't extend the lead with a 3, but the rebound tip to Passmore. Shot erased by Ladd. Third time works.
And she is really, really good around the basket. Good gracious. 2 offensive rebounds, 3 field goal attempts. Got 1 of them.
McDowell into double figures with her 10th point and her 7th and 8th boards. Chasing down yet another double-double.
Lady Eagles are having a hard time finding paint. There you go. Get it. They get inside to Lindsay. Taylor, that gives them a chance.
Ladd left open, but she can't connect from deep. Brought 2
Got
to
a
the
good
ball,
look.
had an open look.
Got a good look.
Passmore the other way. Tough shot in transition.
Man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that girl. She knows how to play. She's a really, really good lead guard.
Anderson up by 20. Carson-Newman hasn't scored in 4 minutes. Eagles in dire
Lady
need
Eagles
of
look a
some answer
little
points.
bit unsettled. They just feel like they can't get anything going. That's a testament to Lady Trojans' defense.
Alvey off the mark from deep. McDowell back to Passmore. Lobs McDowell on the block. Right hand connects off glass. Timeout Mike Mincy.
Lady Eagles got to figure out how to answer that. How do you try to negate McDowell on the post up or on the glass? At the same time, Kev, we got to find Lady's got to find a way to find some baskets in the half court.
The Trojans have had a ton of success in transition. 17 fast break points. They've turned Carson-Newman over 10 times, and that's led to a 13-3 edge and points off turnovers. If something's gone right it's gone right for Anderson and has gone wrong for Carson-Newman. Eagles.
Well, they're making their own breaks, Cav. They're making their own breaks. I love their defensive approach. They're making it tough to get the ball to Lindsey Taylor. They're switching ball screens. They're protecting paint. The Lady Eagles are having a hard time penetrating that, puncturing that shell defense, and the three ball isn't falling for them right now. They got to find a way to put the ball in the basket from deep, and that'll open up and make drives easier.
Carson-Newman is the conference's top three-point shooting team in terms of makes per game and efficiency, but CN is 3 of 10 from beyond the arc, and some of those are good wide-open looks. Taylor walks as a double team nears, and the Lady Eagles turn it over for a 12th time.
And she got a little excited there. Just thinking pass before score. It's always you got to think score, draw the help, then dish the ball.
McDowell. Ahead for Sheridan. Mid-range jumpers halfway down and out. McDowell collapses in. Looks to save it in.
Man, she rebounded that 15 feet out of her area. 15 feet out of her area.
Hard luck foul on Michaela Alvey, called for the trip as McDowell was landing.
That was a tough call, but I think it was actually the right call.
Diamond McDowell on the line for Anderson.
That's the 5th on Carson-Newman. And the first on Alvey. 2 free throws for Diamond McDowell, who buries the first. 11 for McDowell, the lead up to 23 for Anderson.
Lady Eagles need to see the ball go in the basket, get some confidence.
2-2 trip. 24-point game in favor of Anderson. Carson-Newman hasn't scored since the 5:40 mark. Penland kicks Taylor on the perimeter, back to Penland. Pick and pop, not there. Try it again. Penland weaving to the hole, draws a foul.
That's a good idea. 2-man game between an elite shooter and your big. Hill got the foul. What's been really difficult, the Lady Eagles cannot get their press set. They're not going to make enough shots to get their press set and give them a chance to turn over the Lady Trojans. But the Lady Trojans are making the break for themselves. They're getting stops and are disallowing that. And they're taking the stops and turning them into transition points. So good recipe by the Lady Trojans.
2-2 trip for Campbell Penland. First points for the Lady Eagles in 4.5 minutes. Sheridan. Passmore, stripped for a moment by Alvey. Retreats and grabs it. 3-second difference, shot clock to game clock.
Let Passmore go do what she does right here.
Passmore drives on Alvey. Hits McDowell for a 3 deep in the clock, halfway down and out. Taylor grabs the rebound. Alvey slings it ahead. It's off the backboard, and that is how the first half comes to a close. All Anderson in the first half of basketball. The Trojans up 45-23 at the halftime break. Carson-Newman only 2 points over the final 5 minutes of the opening half of basketball. And let's send it down to Ryan Wilkes, who's standing by with Jonathan Barbary. Anderson's head coach has his first half thoughts.
Courtside with Anderson's Jonathan Barbary at halftime here in the SAC women's semifinals. Anderson leads 45-23. Coach, today at shoot around, the sentiment is today is our day. How is that sentiment ring true in a first half where you lead by 22 at the break?
You know, that's just something we're just trying to make sure that our minds are right. You know, on a tournament, you got to go in with a positive mindset always, you know, half full, not half empty. So that was kind of what we went in with. Hey, we earned to be here today. So what are we going to do? How are we going to take advantage of it? So let's make it our day. On the court-wise, somewhat have done a good job on the boards. You know, when they get rebounds, it's a kick-out 3, whether you want it or not, it's coming. So we've done okay on the boards. I think we've gotten downhill pretty good, and we just got to keep continuing that.
Offensively, we talked pregame about the efforts from Diamond McDowell and Zamaya Passmore yesterday. Double-digit scoring efforts from them in the first half, but you've also gotten contributions all over the floor from other players. We talked about how that was a key. How have you liked how that's played out here in the first half?
Honestly, so far so good. Yes, we're sharing the ball. We're a little clumsy on a couple passes, but everyone's ready to shoot and do their part, and that's what we talked about. We don't want them to carry us by themselves. We've got to do our part, and I like our effort so far.
So you're a half away from a SAC championship matchup with Coker tomorrow. So far so good, but this is a Carson-Newman team that can score in bunches. What's the key in the second half to keep the foot on the pedal and secure that bid to the championship game?
Honestly, my goal is win it by one. Win the second half by one, and then you have what you got from the first half. So, you got to play this as 0-0, and you win that half by one, because we have been in a position like this before, and they've come back and won. We know that, so we're not taking anything for granted.
Here with Anderson head coach Jonathan Barbary at halftime of the SAC semifinals. Anderson leads 45-23 over Carson-Newman. Back up to you, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan Wilkes. Trojans up 22 at the halftime break. We'll be joined by the Vice President for Athletics for Anderson University. Bert Epting steps to the microphone when we come back after these messages on Flow College.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
This place has a heartbeat of its own.
The vibe that you get when you walk into the student center, you just get a vibe that you're here at home.
It's given me opportunities that I never thought I'd have. Everyone here knows everyone. That atmosphere is infectious.
The relationships that I've built here have been phenomenal, and I know that they'll last beyond here at Wise.
It's a magic little place in the mountains.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
All right, back at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center as Anderson leads Carson-Newman 45-23 at the halftime break. Here in front of what we have affectionately termed the SAC drop.
Yes,
Adam
it looks
Cavalier
good back here.
alongside Vice
like
President for Athletics Bert Epting. Bert, thanks for taking some time out of your basketball consumption and joining us here on Flow College.
Absolutely, man. What a great place to watch a game. I tell you, been here the last couple of days, and it's been some great basketball in the SAC.
The men's semifinals were insane. For the neutral observer between Carson-Newman and LMU, and then Lenore Ryan and Catawba, the women's semifinals have favored blowouts
Really
between
have.
Coker and Wingate, and now Anderson and Carson-Newman.
One position games on the men's
Yeah,
side.
and up by 20 at the break for the two women's semifinals. Exciting times for Anderson. Year one in the books. It's basketball, but you get your second true spring football practice. How's it been for Bobby Lamb and company? Inaugural season in the books. Always fun to see a school add that as a program and all the pomp, circumstance, and festivities that it provides.
Man, it's amazing. A lot of folks ask me, oh, thank you. a lot of folks ask me, what was it like to add football? And I was like, the only way I can make it make sense is like like adding a kid. Like, what did you do before you had a kid? Right? I mean, it's been tremendous, though. We are blessed. Bobby Lamb was a great hire. He's done a tremendous job for the Trojans. We started the year off 4 straight home games. 3 straight home games, and then, man, we 3-8 for the season. Honestly, I think it was success. Our first SAC win. We got 2 non-conference wins. And now we're looking to season 2. So for us, it's just going to be, building depth. We could play for the most part for a quarter, almost into 3. But then when you took us to 4, it was just, you could see the depth from the SAC team. SAC is a strong football conference. Obviously, it's a strong basketball conference. So needless to say, man, we're excited. Our facilities are great. And it's really helping enrollment. It's helping the whole school. It's amazing how football does that. I mean, you guys have had it forever and have great history in football. Year 1, we're still trying to figure out what happens after a first down, what happens after a win. What are we going to do? So we're doing some of those things. But it's been a blessing to be able to go and see the great schools in our conference who do it well, like you guys, the LRs of the world, the Wingets, and really trying to figure out how we can continue to make it great.
You got to stop with the "you guys" thing. I'm supposed to be a neutral guy on the TV side right now, Bert.
That's fair.
I'm South Atlantic Conference right now. I'm not Carson-Newman right
Pat
now.
Britz would appreciate that.
Yeah.
The commish.
So let's not go with the "you guys" thing.
That's fair.
I do think it is interesting, though. I watched from afar. Carson-Newman hosted Anderson in football this year, but as I am wont to do, I don't watch other. There's no NFL broadcast in the Cavalier household.
That's fair.
It's let's rewatch what happened across the SAC.
Very good.
And my impression was mercy for a first-year program. The crowds were truly unbelievable. Is it gratifying to you? As a VP for athletics, to see the community connect with something so quickly?
Absolutely. We knew football would be popular in the state of South Carolina. We just didn't know how popular. I think we're a great D2 state, and the Anderson community welcomed us with open arms. It was amazing. Our first game, standing room only. Second game, standing room only. We played Limestone, and it was packed as well. And it was hot at the beginning of our seasons. So all that to say, it's such a great arm for us to reach out to our community and use football as a sport that really does connect everyone. And when you think about Anderson, South Carolina, you think the upstate of South Carolina, it has been a tremendous add, not only for us but for the community.
One of the better student sections in the South Atlantic Conference holds court in the Abney Center.
That's right, Trojan Army.
For basketball. How have you guys developed that as an athletic department?
Man, we're only as good as those who come and watch us play. We often talk about the importance of our student athletes getting into the classroom, getting into the dining hall, making friends outside of their sport, because who's going to come watch them play? It's our student body. So for us, we try to really engage them often. We provide great gear. Everybody wants some Trojan gear, black and gold. We really push that spirit piece at our school, and we try to make them see the importance. And honestly, we have some great student life partners as well. Our student life department does a tremendous job having pizza, having pretzels, having ice cream, having things that get these students to come to the games. We give out T-shirts. So not only food and gear, but also it's just, the confines of Abney is tight. I often think it's like the Cameron Indoor, right, of the SAC instead of the ACC, right? And we love that. We love that. We talk about being on the floor, getting loud, being proud for our Trojans. And it's funny because when teams leave, they often wave to our fans, not in a bad way, not like, we beat you, but like in a, hey, well done.
Good job.
Because I think we interact well with other teams, and that makes the whole experience great for not only a home team, but also the guys that are visiting.
All right, Bert. Last as always, go enjoy the second half.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Great job. Go
VP,
Trojans.
VP for Athletics for Anderson, Bert Epting. Second half action heads your way from here. We'll hear from Carson-Newman head coach Mike Mincy on the other side of this break. You're on Flow College.
At LMU, every door is open. Each can help me build my future exactly how I imagine it. Let's check those specs, guys. And lead to a career where I'll have an impact. As a nurse, how are you feeling today? A social worker.
I guess I started when I was young.
Or an executive of a multinational company. Take a look at the third quarter. I know LMU will prepare me for a career where I'll make my mark. That's a cut. Because whatever door I walk into, there's a
Balance.
It isn't just essential in your sport, it's essential in life, especially college life. It's everything you need to thrive in school, in sport, and everything in between. The key is just finding a place where you can pursue it all, because the real beauty lies in the balance. If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
Down here with Carson-Newman head coach Mike Mincy after Carson-Newman trails 45-23 here at the break. So, Coach, plain and simple, what's got to be better in this second half, in the final half of the semifinal, to try and make a comeback against Sherman?
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting killed. We're getting whipped really badly right now, and, it's not something we're used to. But you got to credit Anderson. They came out aggressive. Feel like they wanted to beat us more than maybe we wanted to beat them, and they've taken care of the basketball. One thing that we haven't done is taking care of the basketball. They're outscoring us 15-3 off turnovers. And it's going to have to be better. We're not in rhythm offensively, and then in turn, we're not defending them very well either.
So Passmore and McDowell in double digits, but it's also been some of the other contributors off the bench. What's it going to take to limit some of those contributions and try and shut down McDowell and Passmore in the second half?
I mean, we got a tall task ahead of us because they're a really good scoring team, and they have the potential to do that. To try to race a 22-point deficit, I mean, it's a big mountain to climb, but I mean, we're gonna play a little bit harder. We're gonna try to get some stuff out of Lindsay. Their top two scorers have gone for 27. Our top two have gone for 4.
Down here with Carson-Newman head coach Mike Mincy as the Eagles trail by 22 at the break, looking for a comeback. Back up to you, Kev.
All right, thank you very much. Ryan Wilkes, Adam Cavalier alongside Chuck Benson as Carson-Newman. Heard Mike Mincy say it's been a while. It has. 2015 since Carson-Newman trailed by 23 points in a game. Largest deficit, 24. That was against Catawba a decade ago, so it has been a minute.
I know Coach is frustrated, but you got to give all the credit to Lady Trojans. JB's got them locked in defensively. They're turning the Lady Eagles over, capitalizing in transition, protecting paint. As Coach Mincy said, the Lady Eagles' top two scorers are single digits, and the top two scorers for the Lady Trojans are 27. So something's got to give here if the Lady Eagles want to make a chance, have a run at this.
There are 4 all-SAC first-teamers in this game. Anderson's 2 have combined for 27. Carson-Newman's 2 have combined for 4. It's a pretty big difference.
That's huge. The thing is now the Lady Eagles can't try to make this up in 5 minutes. They've got to try to cut this thing in half by the start of the 4th and give themselves a chance.
Anderson ball.
Trojans start the second half with the basketball in black, looking to make it an all-South Carolina final. High-low action. Kane can't convert at the cup.
Good first possession stop by the Lady Eagles.
Saw Coker get up big on Wingate before the Bulldogs made some inroads. Nice bounce feed for Penland. Fades back. Nope. Taylor an offensive board, slings it out. Penland, second chance 3, short.
Great scripted play there to open up the second half by Lady Eagles, Coach Mincy.
Passmore. Floater. Falls.
There she is again, man.
15 for Zamiah
Good
Passmore.
gracious.
Rutherford north-south. Misfires the layup. That's last touch by Carson-Newman out of bounds. Ball back to Anderson. Couple good sequences there for
Lady Eagles
Carson-Newman.
have gotten the ball to the basket and just not capitalized.
Now Carson-Newman can rest assured that it is in the NCAA tournament. I would argue that the same is likely true for Anderson unless chaos happens in the Peacher Conference Carolinas as McDowell misfires from the
both of
mid-range.
these are regional tournament teams for sure.
Alvey, transition 3 off the mark. McDowell rises up to pull in the rebound. Carson-Newman shooting below 30% from the field for the game. Eagles have started 0 of 3 in the second half. McDowell, tough take, rolls off. Teams a combined 0 of 6 after halftime. High low to Taylor. Long left-hand hooks, no good over Kane.
Ladies can't find it yet. Minute and a half in here.
Preston finds the bottom of the barrel in transition.
Transition O versus transition D.
Rutherford crosses over Preston, gets to the block, kisses in off glass, counted in a foul.
Maybe that starts it for the Lady Eagles. Toya Rutherford attacks paint, gets the and one. This will allow the Lady Eagles to get into their press. I know Coach Mincy wants to get more possessions here, so they need to be really aggressive in this press, see if they can turn them over. But man, it's going to be difficult with Passmore at the head of the ship here for the Lady Trojans.
It's uncharted territory for Mike Mincy and his team. To check my math, but I think the last time that Carson-Newman faced a deficit this large, Tatum Berstrom was still playing for Carson-Newman.
That's been a while now.
And she's now in a decade deep into a career as an assistant women's basketball coach, now at Coastal Carolina. Kane beats the press and lays it in.
Yeah, ladies were hoping for a turnover. Instead, they gave up a layup. That was a unfortunate break for them.
Sullivan pivoting, passing out to Rutherford. Rutherford, shot from deep is airballed, and it's out of bounds. Carson-Newman, the conference's top three-point shooting team, 3 of 15 from beyond the arc. Eagles lead the league in both makes per game and three-point field goal percentage.
That was a tough one, man. That was a tough one.
Another one for AU. Passmore cooking right now. She's got 17. That's 50 points in 2 games for the tournament for her.
Yeah, I mean, she's single-handedly attacking the Lady Eagles press, touching paint, and getting more or less whatever she wants.
Mike Mincy utilizes a timeout. Trojans are up 53-26. Anderson has outscored Carson-Newman 8-3 to open up the second half. We're back for the final 7-11 of the third quarter after these messages on Flow College.
At Anderson University, we are on a journey, one that seeks to find the purpose for which God created each and every one of us. So we search, we grow, we dive in, and with a close-knit community, small class sizes, accomplished and supportive faculty, and a spirit that believes that together we can accomplish big things. The person we are striving to become doesn't feel so far away. So we push, we dream, we dig deeper, until our journey finds us as teachers, artists, writers, athletes, engineers, nurses, and friends. And while we're at it, we just might change the world. Anderson University, knowledge for your journey.
Anderson is trying to make it an all South Carolina championship Friday on the women's side of the SAC basketball championships. The Trojans rocking and rolling their way to a 53-26 lead on Carson-Newman with 7:07 to play in the third quarter. AU on the hunt for their first title in 6 years as Kane goes off glass to extend the lead to 29.
JB cooked up something nice in that last time. Timeout. That was a really nice scripted play, Lady Trojans.
Rutherford inside to Taylor. Taylor backs down Kane, gets to her left hand, misfires the hook. Rutherford keeps it alive.
Tough shot.
Rutherford twisting around on Preston, lays it in.
Well, that was a difficult shot, but the Lady Eagles are having a hard time finding good looks, uncontested looks.
The best looks for Carson-Newman have come on second chance opportunities on some of the threes, and those haven't fallen. Eagles are just 3 of 15 from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, everything falling for Anderson. 50% from the field, 60% after halftime, and McDowell icy smooth from the mid-range.
Well, right now, there's really no game pressure on the Lady Trojans. They're up 29. We're not even to the mini timeout in the third.
Finland strong off the heel with her three-point attempt. McDowell has another double-double, the 18th of the season. She goes to work on the glass on the offensive end.
She gets an offensive rebound, runs the floor, or gets a defensive rebound, runs for it, gets an offensive rebound.
Loses it out of bounds. Anderson highly motivated in this one.
Clearly. And you hate to be critical because both these teams have done a lot to get to this point in the year, but at this moment in time, as Coach Mincy said, Anderson looks more locked in to their plan to make it difficult for Lady Eagles with their defense.
Tori Rutherford trying to draw a foul. Kane played her straight up. Preston pump fakes a three. Mosey's inside, rips it up and in with the right hand. 31-point lead for Anderson. Back to 29. Alvey slices into it.
Shot making by Anderson is off the charts. And they're making, remember, threes, mid-range, layups, offensive rebounds, free throws. It's just off the charts.
Anderson's confidence sky high right now. McDowell yo-yos the ball on Rutherford. And flips it out to Passmore. Deep in the shot clock from the elbow. 15-footer swishes in.
I mean,
it is the Trojans night to night. Passmore on the plus side of 19 now.
What are they shooting for this half?
70%.
Good gracious.
Sullivan looking for an answer. Halfway down and out. Alvey scoops up an offensive board. Hinland drives.
Good drive. Oh,
Can't
man.
finish. Johnson, third charge. Yes, plus a foul.
More good shot opportunities to the Lady Eagles. Aren't getting the first one, but they're getting seconds.
Sheridan, the culprit, picks up her first. First on Anderson of the half. 4:17 to go in the third, and Anderson is in control, 61-32 on Carson-Newman. An and one free throw coming up for Abigail Johnson when we come back after this on Flow College.
Our roots run deep here at Catawba College. So do our ambitions. We're pushing forward into life-saving, cutting-edge genomics research, powering up with geothermal heat and solar energy, going after national championships, and saying yes to the impossible, and then delivering on it. We don't just talk about saving the planet, revolutionizing education for the next generation, innovating business, unleashing creativity, or pioneering better, kinder, smarter healthcare. We do it. Good change starts here, with us. And it goes far. Just you watch. Catawba College. Good goes far.
Well, it has been the Zamaya Passmore show for Anderson. She's finished at the rim. She's finished from the mid-range. And for a player who came into this game 24% from beyond the arc and 11 threes on the season, she's buried a triple.
Don't forget Diamond. I mean, this 1-2 punch of Z and D is no joke.
Passmore with 19, McDowell with 16, and one free throw is good for Abigail Johnson. Carson-Newman is down 28. And again, we stress, Carson-Newman hasn't been in this situation from a deficit standpoint in a decade.
I like this decision. Coach Mincy's coming out in a little 2-3 zone, maybe try to slow down the rhythm.
You like a zone?
Of course I would like it. Of course I would like it.
Shocker. Water is wet. Oliver.
There we go.
Off the mark.
There, good defensive possession by the Lady Eagles.
Wonder where he got these notes about zone defense. That's straight 2-3, not a matchup. Johnson.
Got it deep inside. Lady Eagles can't capitalize right there.
Carson-Newman down 28. McDowell through traffic. And
What in the world? That's the third running long two they've made this half.
Anderson, 8 of 12 from the field after halftime. Pardon me, 9 of 13. Rutherford, tough shot, connects plus a foul.
You can tell she really is trying to turn the tide here for the Lady Eagles. She's fighting for drives, putting her body on the line. Tough and one opportunity here.
Foul was the first on Passmore, the second on the Trojans of the period. Carson-Newman down 28. Rutherford, and one free throw, rolls off right side. McDowell with her 15th rebound. You think, oh, that's a career high. No, she had 26 at Tusculum.
She's already got the double-double.
Those have been routine, 18 of them on the season for her. Inside on Knuckles, turns it over. Pass intercepted by Alvey, but gives it right back to Passmore, who finds McDowell. Anderson pumps the brakes and sets up in the half court.
Lady Eagles got the stop, then turned it right back around and gave the ball back.
Oliver bangs off of Abigail Johnson. Johnson's not going to cede an inch. She picks up her first personal, and the first on the Eagles of the period.
Well, I like the 2-3 zone Coach Vince is going with here. Obviously, Anderson is trying to sort of screen the zone a little bit. They've got to make some decisions on how they're going to cover the ball screen if they're going to stay in the zone.
Inbounds right to Gravel. Got a race, but she saves it in. McDowell fades, flips, no. Rebound scooped up by Passmore. And then she hits the deck, shoved by Abigail Johnson. Second personal for her, second team foul on the Eagles.
I love the pace that Diamond plays with. She's never really in a big hurry. She just sort of takes her time and makes things happen.
Anderson really has played free and easy basketball.
Yeah, there's not a lot of game pressure when you got a 25, 30-point lead.
Long two, rained down by Kane.
I mean, the reality is you really sort of hope people take those long twos as long as they don't make them. But they have made them at an elite level.
Kane's the third Trojan in double figures. Joining Passmore and McDowell. Gonzalez. Off balance, left it short.
Another tough shot attempt. Finding good shots or open shots has been difficult for the Lady Eagles so far.
Oliver trailing, got fouled by Hayworth. 3 free throws for Peyton Oliver. Carly Hayworth with her first. Third on the Eagles. As Leslie Marios checks in, replacing Zamaya Passmore.
They're gonna let Diamond and Zamaya sit there for about 2 minutes, and they'll bring him in to start the fourth just to make sure that things continue on.
Carson-Newman shooting below 30% from the field for the game as Oliver makes the first, misses the second.
The Lady Trojans are 70% this half?
Sitting 64% now. 54% from the field for the game. That's been all mid-range stuff. Only 4 of 14 from beyond the arc. Granted, they have hit some good shots at the rim, but here in the second half, it has been 15-footer after 15-footer.
That's a coach would prefer, a defensive coach would prefer a team to take those. There's a good shot by the Lady Eagles.
Knuckles finds the sweet spot from the left wing. Carson-Newman down 29. Kane, 10-footers off the mark. Johnson the box out. Near turnover. Hayworth gathers it in. 3, short. Carson-Newman had the day of rest. But the Eagles leaving a lot of shots short today. Barrios. 2 passes over to Oliver.
It's one thing about the zone right now, it can disrupt the flow of the Trojans offense, but it just melts clock. It really shortens the game. And Lady Eagles being down 29, how do you cut back into this with the zone? It's tough. They need to be able to make shots and get into their press, if at all possible.
I know for both these coaches, Mike Mincy, 1,000% is going to prefer the press.
Here they go. Here they go.
For Jonathan Barbary, I think over the course of a season, JB maybe uses 7 possessions of zone. So not the expected defenses for either one of these teams, but the Eagles have gone to the zone.
This zone has been good. It's sort of slowed down the timing and rhythm. But again, when you're down 30, it's how do you make up the difference? How do you make it up?
Sheridan fouled in the act of shooting. 2 free throws for Anderson. With 7.9 to go in the period. Third personal on Johnson. 4th team foul on Carson-Newman. Sheridan's first. Banks in. Chance to stretch the lead back to 28. And she does. Send it ahead for Johnson. Catches and lays it in over the top.
Great three-quarter court pass from Ladd to Johnson to finish the half, or finish the quarter.
Carson-Newman ends the quarter on a positive note, but Anderson is in control. The Trojans up by 26. Anderson trying to punch its ticket to championship Friday in an all-Palmetto State final with top-seeded Coker awaiting. Or does Carson-Newman have a miracle in its back pocket? We're back after these messages on Flow College.
It is a fun pursuit of wisdom. A wisdom to find joy in meaningful work together.
Anderson has a 69-43 lead on Carson-Newman as we start the 4th quarter. Trojans have been rocking and rolling in this one, shooting better than 50% from the field while holding the Eagles under 30% shooting. McDowell off the mark, off and off balance leaner.
Good opening stop by the Lady Eagles.
Alvey attacks the basket. McDowell erases it out of bounds.
Good rear view contest. Good rear view contest by Diamond.
Returning for Carson-Newman, number 44, Abigail Johnson.
McDowell with a double-double, 18 points, 16 rebounds. Penland moves inside, splits 2 defenders, misfires on the layup.
Again, good deep paint touch. Didn't finish.
Shots just haven't fallen today for Carson-Newman. They have for Anderson. Kane spins off. Second chances there, though.
Great initial feed by Diamond. Great offensive rebound put back.
Sullivan. It's inside, nothing there. Back out to Rutherford. Free throw line, bounce for Johnson, who lays it up and gets called for a foul. 8:50 to play in the 4th quarter. 71-43.
Really good pick and roll execution there. I thought that was something that the Lady Eagles have improved off since the first half.
Foul is on Kane, her 3rd. First on the Trojans in the 4th quarter. 2 free throws for Abigail Johnson as she connects on the 1st. Second one's on the way. It too is true. 71-45. Eagles down 26 with 8:50 to go in the 4th quarter. For the record, we are having some internet issues table side with the connection for what controls our score bug. That's why there's no time and score on your screen, so I'll do my best radio principles and give it frequently. McDowell Euros through and lays it in. 73-45, Trojans up 28 with 8:25 to play in the fourth quarter. Rutherford attacks on the other end and draws a foul.
Tori's got such a nice sort of change of pace, change of speed, change of direction. That's how she's able to get a step on what appear maybe to be overall quicker on-ball defenders, but she sort of has a little wiggle game to get in there and get to the cup.
Timeout for Anderson brings us to a break in the action. 8:23 to play in the fourth quarter. It is a 73-45 lead for Anderson on Carson-Newman, and we return to Rock Hill after these messages on Flow College.
Sure, we've been around a while, 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
8:23 to go in the fourth quarter. A 73-45 lead for Anderson on Carson-Newman, with Tori Rutherford at the line for the Eagles, and she gets the roll on her first free throw to pull Carson-Newman within 27. Again, we have issues with the doohickey, the thingamabob that controls or helps control the time and score on the screen, so that's why that's not up there right now. And so I'll turn
we're confident you can stand in the gap there, Cav, and make everybody understand.
My radio play-by-play principles of time and score frequently. Trojans are up by 26 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, trying to punch their ticket to championship Friday. And Passmore, more points for her. She's on the plus side of 20.
Yeah,
with that layout.
She's just a hard matchup, man.
Rutherford the other way, dumps it in off the window. Tori Rutherford breaks into double digits for Carson-Newman. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. 75-49. Trojans up 26, pending Rutherford's free throw.
Tori has been, I guess, maybe the shining light for the Lady Eagles. She's actually got it to the cup and has had a couple of finishes, a couple and ones.
25-point game after the made free throw. 75-50, 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Deflection by Penland in the backcourt.
There's that press.
It's in Rutherford's hands. Rutherford, left wing, step back three, feeling it, heats up and drills it. Tori Rutherford cuts it to 22, 7:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Game in which the Trojans have led by as many as 31, Carson-Newman's largest deficit in a decade. Rutherford a deflection. She forces the turnover and draws a foul.
Tori's got no quit in her. Not that any of the other Lady Eagles do, but she's really, really determined and resilient despite the fact they're down 25. She's fighting and trying to make extra effort plays. Love to see it.
Izzy Proffitt's first personal, the third on the Trojans. Carson-Newman within 22, 7:22 to play in the fourth. Rutherford, back-to-back threes. Does she have it? No, it's short. Kane the rebound, but she's fouled. Sullivan and Alvey collapse into her. It's on Sullivan. Jen's third. The first on the Eagles of the period.
Good effort. They're crashing the glass, trying to get some extra opportunities.
McDowell races over the timeline. Peels it out and gets it to Passmore. Passmore content to work clock. Anderson, the transition game strong with 25 points. Nice step through by Kane, but she doesn't get the roll.
Lady Eagles switch that ball screen, but they're able to give up the split.
Rutherford takes it inside, spins around, but misses the layup. 75-53. Trojans by 22, a turnover. Or a shot attempt. We'll see how it's scored. Regardless, it's Carson-Newman basketball. Penland, drive, dish, Alvey. No, a charge.
Oh, wow.
Campbell Penland whistled for the foul as she barreled through Peyton Oliver. Third on Penland.
Penland had the right idea. She had the right. She was trying to drive and dish.
Oliver, with her heels on top of the restricted circle, stood planted. There's a deflection by Sullivan. She's whistled for the reach. Fourth on Sullivan, third on the Eagles. Carson-Newman trying to dial up the intensity, get aggressive, cause some chaos. Down 22 with 6:14 to play. Anderson, 6:14 away from heading to the title game to take on Coker. Steps on Kane.
So tried to get the isolation in the post, and she sort of lost her footing there.
Trojans shooting better than 50% from the field for the game. Have cooled off a touch in the fourth quarter with just 2 points scored.
That zone disrupted their flow, Kev.
Would you like to evangelize for zone defenses a little more, Chuck? Alvey. Hook shot misfires.
There's Diamond. There is the Diamond.
Nothing rough about her today, though.
No.
75-53. Loose ball. Passmore keeps it alive, slips to McDowell, who lays it in.
Passmore turned nothing into something with that play.
22 points, 17 rebounds for Diamond McDowell. Penland. Skip for Caroline Hill. Hill inside Alvey. Catch three. Swish. Michaela Alvey has 16 points to pace Carson-Newman.
Another good driving dish by the Lady Eagles.
Lady Eagles down 77-56 with 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Just a touch of internet issues here in the facility. Our scorebugs is stuck at 75-53. You can ignore that, and there it goes. It's a 77-56 lead with 4:50 to play in the fourth quarter. Kane loops it up and draws a foul.
Just a matter of size right there, man. There was nothing Tori could do with that.
Carson-Newman foul, number 12, Caroline
Hill, the culprit on the foul. Her first, team's fourth.
Nothing Hill could do about that.
They had 2 in the area. You're not an official.
This is true.
They're the ones that are arbitrating that decision. Kane makes the first, 78-56. 4:48 to play in the fourth quarter. 2 of 2 trip. Long history of great officials in the annals for Carson-Newman. Matt Hollifield, husband of former Carson-Newman softball head coach Vicky Kazee Hollifield, currently an SEC official. If you talk officials, you got to talk about Greg Parman and Harold Denton, who did games in the ACC for football.
Parman is one of the all-time legends, and one of our biggest supporters.
And that is?
Greg Parman is a legend, one of our all-time great supporters.
I thought you were adding
legendary status says it all.
I thought you were adding the new wrinkle. Three-pointer's good from Peyton Oliver. South Atlantic Conference in general has a long history. There are not too many university presidents who dabble in that, but Wingate's former president, Jerry McGee, long-time career as an official. Lead breeds good officials. Callie McMahon, a 3, is off the mark.
Have your knowledge of just
absurd lunacy.
Small details never ceases to amaze me.
Of course, we haven't talked about a guy that Carson-Newman will never see on the floor, and that is the son of the late, great David Barger, Paul Barger, who is now a South Atlantic Conference football official.
Yes. Yeah, good point.
McDowell. Tough shot and one.
You know what? I'm upping her to a 5-star diamond at this point. She's legit.
Five diamonds?
5 diamond.
5 diamond award?
5 diamond award, yes.
Yes. Michelin star.
Yes.
3 Michelin stars, 5
yes,
diamonds.
all of it. She's 20.
She's
what is she,
had
20 and 20?
I don't know that she's to 20 rebounds yet. Again, our live stats are about 4 minutes behind where the game actually is.
I'm gonna
she
say
definitely has
she's
20 points.
I'm going to say she's 24 and 18.
Stats have her at 16 rebounds presently. I know she has a 17. Regardless, the Trojans are up 85-56 with 3:22 to play in the fourth quarter. Trying to think who else got me started on reminiscing about officials. I don't know the women's officials as well as I do the men's, but Barry Mathis has some high-quality guys to work with on the men's side. And there have been some high-quality guys at this tournament.
They were challenged in that Catawba arcade earlier. That basketball game turned into just outright war.
85-58. Trojans up with 2:48 to play in the fourth quarter.
They're back in that zone cap.
Stay in the
just milking the clock at this point. Mike's sending a message to his girls. They're going to be playing in the regional. He's trying to send a message. Let's just get past this one. Sometimes you just concede. You know it's over. Let's give everybody a little time. Let's get ready for the tournament.
Hill off to McMahon. Baseline drive out for a Ladd three. Ladd swishes it. 87-61. 26-point lead for the Trojans. 2:12 to play in the fourth quarter. Anderson has been a bridesmaid 3 times in the last 5 years on the quest for their first tournament title since 2019, and they are 2 minutes away from challenging for that championship.
I've seen Coker and the Lady Trojans both play, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a good one tomorrow.
That'll be a good physical war between 2 really good defensive clubs. Anderson's had the offensive punch here today, without question. 87-61. Anderson by 26 with 90 seconds left. Hayworth strips.
Nice quick trap there by Lady Eagles.
Hayworth easily to the rim for 2. 87-63. Trojans by 24 with 80 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Anderson.
Same little trap, being aggressive, I like it.
Mario's fouled. Put this one on Caroline Hill. It's her second. Team's 5th. So free throws for Leslie Mario, 10 of 15 at the stripe this season. And 20 of 36 at the line for her college career, make it 21 of 37. 88-63. Anderson up 25 on Carson-Newman. In the first time that Carson-Newman has faced a deficit this big in a decade, literally.
Wow.
2015 against Catawba. Has not happened to Mike Mincy's machine often, if at all. Under a minute to go, the Trojans looking to punch their ticket to Championship Friday. Hayworth down inside, kicks it out to Ladd in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. McMahon in traffic, can't get it to go. Profit the rebound and running front court for the Trojans. 10-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Anderson gets to dribble out the final moments in this one as Eagle misses from 15. Took the shot a little bit quicker than I anticipated. Shot clock off for Carson-Newman. Hayworth head of the key. Hayworth, step back, 3. Front of the 10, no good. The rebound bounces out of bounds and stays with Carson-Newman with 8.6 seconds left. A mere formality as the Trojans are set to take on Coker for the title on Friday. Hayworth. The lob into McMahon, elbow jumper, swishes in. 89-65, Anderson will dribble out the final moments in a dominant, thorough, and complete performance. Anderson takes the semifinal contest with Carson-Newman and heads on to Championship Friday with an 89-65 win over the Lady Eagles. Carson-Newman faces its largest margin and deficit in a decade. And Anderson, a thorough 40 minutes to move on to Championship Friday and a date with Coker in the title game at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Chuck Benson, everything Anderson tossed up when Carson-Newman might have had an opportunity to make some inroads into the deficit in that second half, early in the second half, it went in for Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, the shot making overall this game by Anderson was off the charts. It never felt like, from the jump, it never felt like the Lady Eagles could get their footing. Shots weren't going early in the game. Shots weren't going in the mid part of the game. Found a couple here late in the fourth when the game was already out of control. So you got to give a lot of credit to JB and his team. They're very capable. Having watched them closely tonight, I think tomorrow's game with Coker is going to be an absolute beauty.
We send it down to the sidelines. Ryan Wilkes standing by with the victorious head coach, Jonathan Barbary.
Down here courtside with Anderson head coach Jonathan Barbary after the Trojans take down Carson-Newman 89-65. Head of the SAC championship, Coach. How does that sound to have some plans tomorrow night?
It sounds great. It's been a while, so it's been a minute to get there. And honestly, to get there by playing a great team like Carson and being able to come on top, that's important. That's important for building momentum and whatnot when you go into a game like what's coming with Coker, the league champ.
So coming in this one, you know you're going to have some tired legs potentially. Didn't look tired tonight with Diamond McDowell and Zemiah Passmore. Essentially repeating what they did last night with double-doubles tonight. Diamond with, I think, finished with 17 rebounds on the night. How big is her presence on the glass for you guys, not only in the offensive end, but on the defensive side, erasing some potential second chance opportunities?
Yeah, she is a ball magnet, and honestly, she saved us a lot all year. Early in the season, we didn't have her the first, 8 games because she was out hurt. You play an exhibition game and you get your best players hurt, and that kind of stinks. But she has come on with a vengeance in this last month, and I think she realizes, hey, this is my time, and I got to step up for the team. Both her and Z both. But her being able to control the boards like that it limits teams to getting second chances, and that's what you got to do, especially in tournaments.
So we talked about the others chipping in at halftime. Kyla Kay finishes in double digits. What did you like out of her to maybe alleviate some of the pressure from Zemiah and Diamond tonight?
Yeah, so Kyla's been a work in progress, right? She's playing out of her position. She's really a 3-4 herself, but she's taking on some of the workload in the 5. And what she forgets is she is an offensive weapon. She can score, but she's been doing such a good job for us defensively and anchoring down. She's just so strong, so strong. But just proud of her. She's been working hard to become more of an offensive presence. And I hope tonight is what the leapfrog for her to realize she can do it more often.
Third game in 3 days tomorrow, and it's for the crown against a Coker team, a defense that hasn't allowed more than 50 points here in Rock Hill. Obviously, rest is key tonight, but tomorrow, what are the keys to success against a smothering Coker defense?
You got to take care of the ball. I mean, first and foremost, you got to take care of the ball. Whether they're pressing or they're just in the half court, you can't gamble with some of your passes. You got to come and meet the pass, and you got to take care of the basketball.
Coach, congratulations and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Ryan Wilkes here with head coach Jonathan Barbary after Anderson takes down Carson-Newman 89-65. Back up to you, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan Wilkes. Trojans prevail 89-65 over Carson-Newman, and Anderson is on to Championship Friday in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament. A date with Coker, an all-Palmetto State final tomorrow at 7 p.m. between Coker and Anderson. Those two split their regular season meetings. The rubber match is headed your way tomorrow at 7 p.m. Diamond McDowell, brilliant. 25 points, 18 rebounds. Zamiah Passmore, brilliant. 21 points, 6 steals, 7 assists, 5 boards on a stat sheet stuffing night for her. And Kyla Kane, 14 points for Anderson. Carson-Newman got 16 points and 10 boards for Michaela Alvey for a double-double. And Tori Rutherford had 15 for Carson-Newman as well. Anderson prevails 89-65 and moves on to Championship Friday against Coker at 7 p.m. That wraps it up for us here on the third day of the South Atlantic Conference Basketball Championships. The title game's set tomorrow at 4 p.m. Lincoln Memorial versus Lenore Rhine. The top 2 seeds on the men's basketball side play for the tournament championship at 4 p.m. And then in the nightcap at 7, it's the top-seeded Coker Cobras against the third-seeded Anderson Trojans at 7 p.m. We'll have it all for you here on Flow College. I'm Adam Cavalier for Chuck Benson, our sideline reporter Ryan Wilkes. Thanks for joining us all day long. Our fantastic broadcast crew, our director Ian Johnson, our replay operator Jay West, and our camera crew, Itzy Ayala, Max Bryant, Molly Buckowitz, and Kennedy Goins. I'm Adam Cavalier saying good night from Rock Hill. Final score, Anderson is title game bound, 89-65. Until tomorrow, we'll see you there for the SAC championship games on Flow College.